Rising above $75 a barrel right now. So one more time, we're going to call you out, make you give us a prediction on where you think things are headed for the rest of this year.
I'll wake up in the night wondering what your question's going to be.
I know it's a tough one to try and figure this one out. We have to ask him for the first question out. Where's it headed from here?
Up.
Up?
It's going up.
How much higher?
You'll see. But, you know, I'm getting old on this one. I say it'll be 80 before the first of the year, but it may not be 80 at the end of the year.
Does that mean you think prices might come back down before the end of the year?
Oh, yeah, just back off a little bit. You know, they bounce around, and it's, you know, if we have something that really goes wrong, we have two countries that are fighting now, and neither one of them have any oil. You get one of them that's got oil, you put Iran in the mix, and then the price goes on up of 80.
Although people have made a lot of your prediction that we could see $100 oil by the end of the year, but it almost sounds as if you're stepping back a bit. You don't think that that is necessarily likely?
You know, if I went to sleep this afternoon and woke up January 1st and you called me and said, Boone, did you see that oil is $100 a barrel, I would not be surprised. Well, so I don't know whether that's a complicated answer to an easy question.
You wouldn't be surprised, but that's not necessarily where you think things are headed.
I don't think we're headed there yet.
But as you said, it's the geopolitical concerns that really make you think we're not sure where things are going?
I think the geopolitical concerns are truly a bouncing ball. And but if you want me to say, is it going to 100? Yes, it's going to 100. I won't tell you it's going to go to 100 before the first of the year.
All right, let's talk about.
We'll see $100 oil within the next year.
Let's talk about where fundamentals really should be putting oil prices. We heard from a smart man yesterday who pointed out we are halfway through the driving season. We haven't seen any major hurricanes that are coming, and the Middle East headlines, the oil markets are sort of getting used to these headlines. Where do you think oil prices should be, shy of some major conflict in the Middle East?
I think the oil prices are right where they should be. The fundamentals will show you that this is the price of oil. I'm always confused when somebody asks me about the tariff premium, and I have to laugh because who do you give the tariff premium to? I don't see, really, I'm not trying to be funny, it just doesn't, tariff premium just doesn't fit me. I think you're producing 85 million barrels of oil a day, and the market is calling for about 85 million barrels a day.
Although,
and
Boone,
with that,
you've also said in the past that there's such a thing as demand destruction, that high prices will cure high prices. When do we get to that point?
I'm not sure. I don't think we're there now. I mean, you look at the demand on our figures last week, and there's still a very strong demand for gasoline. And so I haven't seen them back off yet. I think you've got to get the price of gasoline higher to kill the demand.
Hey, Boone, it's Joe Kernan. It's good to see you. How long would that tar sand oil last us up in Canada? And how much does it have to go per barrel for everyone to be happy and make money on that? I mean, can we stay at 75 and have oil forever if we use those tar sand?
Oh, yeah, 75 will be just fine. I don't like, Joe, I don't like to use tar sands. I don't want people to say Boone's in a tar deal. It's oil sands is what I prefer to call it.
And there's a lot of it.
Yeah. And what is it, 175? How many barrels are up there? Have you counted?
Well, I've seen numbers that are huge. The one that I like to use is that to give you a reference point, Saudi Arabia claims 250 billion barrels, which I don't believe they have that much oil. But if you look at the oil sands, it's 250 billion barrels. So I like to say that the oil sands have at least as much as Saudi Arabia or more.
Well, it just seems to me that if, you know, I don't like $3 a gallon gas, but you know, I'm still putting food on the table. If we got as much as Saudi Arabia north of the border, it just doesn't seem like, you know, we're facing the end of the world. We just need to get, maybe all of us can't drive, you know, Denali Yukons or something.
Well, Joe, I was up there last week, and when Fort McMurray, where the oil sands are located, was 1,500 people when I lived in Canada in the 60s, is now 65,000. and they have a problem up there. They can't get enough people to do the job. The skilled workers are in short supply. Consequently, look at it this way, and you ask the question, what price can they make money? They can make money if their facilities have been built and on production, such as Suncor. They make money above $20 a barrel. Now, adding new facilities, you're going to have $50 a barrel oil to make it work. But also, 3 years ago, you could add 1 million barrels of production a day for a cost of $40 billion. Now, the price has gone up to somewhere for 1 million barrels addition a day, cost maybe closer to $100 billion.
Hey, Boone, let me ask you. I know we bring you on here all the time to ask you about oil, but why are you in Washington today?
I'm here today because there's a House Bill 503, the American Horse Slaughter Prevention Act. And John Sweeney and Ed Whitfield, two congressmen that are very keen about this, to get it stopped. It is the most un-American thing I've ever seen. We have the owners of the slaughterhouses, one in Illinois, two in Texas, I'm embarrassed to say, and those are owned by Belgian companies. They slaughter about 100,000 head of horses a year, and those horses are then, the carcasses are sent to Japan, France, and Belgium for consumption. You don't eat horse meat in the United States, and we have got to stop the slaughter of horses in the United States. It makes me sick to even talk about it, but it's a sad, sad situation. That comes up for vote the first week in September.
Jim Lucier?
Yeah, Boone, there's another big vote coming up today or tomorrow, and that is the U.S. Senate is going to be making its first big step, I think, to open up the outer continental shelf. In fact, if they fail to do this, we ought to cut their pay and send them home. I've been seeing tremendous pressure build in Congress to open up the OCS, and I think we'll see even more progress next year toward ending the moratorium that applies to the entire east and west coast. What do you think about that? Is $75 oil going to be enough incentive to make U.S. oil companies invest at home and drill offshore here?
You know, it could be.
And the Cubans are doing it, the Chinese, off the coast of Florida.
You're talking about drilling in very deep water, but we're doing that. We're drilling 8,000 feet of water in the Gulf of Mexico now.
So there's no technical reason why we couldn't?
No, I don't think so. I think that it's in reach technically. I'm not as optimistic about how much we're going to find. I read the other day where somebody said that they were going to find a gazillion barrels. I don't know what that is, but other than to know it must be huge.
Well,
but
the number's 85 billion, but it's based on seismic data 30 years old. They've not even explored there.
I think that I would be very suspicious of that.
All right. Well, Boone, thank you as always for joining us today. Good luck with your initiatives there.